So this is Programming 301, Lesson 5 walkthrough. So in looping knight moves, what we're going to be doing is programming the knight to walk around. This time you're going to use loops to improve the code. We will animate the knight using loops and conditionals. So the first thing we're going to do is program the knight to switch to its first running costume while the right arrow key is held down. So we're going to be a little bit more specific with where we're doing this. So we need to say on start, we want to be looking forever instead of switching costume from stand. We need to be looking in there if that right arrow is pressed. So we're going to say if that right arrow is pressed, then we're going to switch to that first run costume, which is the right hand run costume. Now the next thing that we need to do is program the knight to walk using a loop. So we're going to add the blocks, repeat 7 times, and then we're going to turn right, move 10 pixels. And if we're touching anything, we're going to back up so that we are bouncing off of walls. And then we're also going to check to bounce off of the edges. So this forever is going to get placed underneath this chunk of code that we already have going right now. So we're going to stick this right in here. So if that right arrow is pressed, we are repeating 7 times. We're going to point in that direction, move those pixels, and then if we're on the edge, we're going to bounce. Now remember that that is to check on the left, right, and up and down, so top and bottom, to make sure that we are not hitting those sides. We want to be able to come back out. We're going to grab this chunk right here, and this chunk right here is going to go right. I just got to grab it as the whole block here. Right here. You got to be kind of careful. You don't want it up in with this. You want it down here. Then we're going to make the knight respond to the left arrow key. So this is the right arrow key. So if we play this right now and make it bigger, when I do the right arrow key, there he goes, running right. Okay, we got to program that left arrow key, which is going to look super similar. So we're going to do, instead of the if right, we need the if left, and it's got to be within the same block. So I'm just going to start right here. If left arrow is pressed, we're going to repeat, grab all of that and put that in there, and be real careful where we're putting this code. This gets to be very, very big, but let's check our code here. Now we got left and right, more realistic movement. And that's it. Try it out. We've got left and right. So that's pretty complicated code in there, but really all it's doing is having it move within a repeat block to make it have even more realistic animation. And the knight attack function. So we're going to control the knight's movement with function blocks. So a function is a chunk of code that we can call by name. So we don't have to type out that code every single time or drag over those blocks. We just call that chunk of code to do what we want it to do. So for example, walking right, walking left, moving up, and moving down. So you can see we're going to program the walk blocks using customizable function blocks. So you're going to pull over these blocks and attach them up to the top here with each of those costumes. So now what we want to do is call the name. Instead of plopping this code in every single time we want to move, we can call walk right, walk up, walk left, and walk down. So if the right arrow key is pressed, we want to walk right, and left, we want to walk left, up, walk up, down, walk down. I don't really have anything for the space key, but it looks like maybe we're gonna, oh, the knight can attack when we press the space bar. So we're gonna say now, if the space bar is pressed, we want to switch the attack costumes and repeat 7 times and switch through all of those different costumes within attack. So here's all the run ones that he does and all of the attack ones. So it'll loop through those each time. So if we play this now, I can move up and down and left and right, and my space bar goes through the attacks. So if I keep pressing it, he does all of his attacking moves. Okay, we're going to program the knight to attack the zombies. We're going to define an attack function and kill all of the zombies to win. We're going to use the arrow keys to move around and the space bar to attack, just like what we just did. So we're going to code it to give him the ability to do all of this. First thing we need to do is program the keys that do everything. So all of our up and down and left and rights have already been created for us. All we need to do is program the attack. So I'm going to pull over this attack, and what we need to do is begin. We're going to switch costume, and I'm going to go down and start with attack 1 because I'm doing the attack ones. And in this function, what I want to do is repeat again the 7 times. We're going to go through all these costumes. Repeat 7. And I'm going to wait just a little bit. So not the 1 second. I'm going to do the 0.05, which does that realistic animation look for me. And I'm going to move to the next costume. And I've got that attack in there. I've got all the arrows moving. So right now, I should be able to attack them. You have to hit them a certain number of times to get them to go away. I don't know if it's 5 or what it is, but I got this one cornered. There we go. One more. Got him. Okay, on this last level, you will be animating characters using your keyboard events. So we're going to make the characters move around and make the characters dance or attack. There's already actors in here. There's a knight, a mummy, a Valkyrie, and a zombie. And you're going to make them play animations or sounds when the keys are pressed. So you can use these blocks or use other ones that you wanted to do in this, but here's some examples. I could say for the zombie on start, if the space bar is pressed, I don't know, where do you go, zombie? Switch to his dancing costume, or maybe, and then repeat 7 times and make him dance. So if I press play right now, the zombie dances when I press my space bar down. I already dragged it out. You don't really, this thing's just going to yell at me because I didn't do it on the knight as well. It wants every single one of them. And I don't really want them all dancing, but okay. You can add new actors and you can animate any of the new actors, make them play a sound. So for example, the Valkyrie, when the down is pressed, actually I think I'm going to do up arrow pressed. I'm going to play dual music. And I'm going to make, when that space is pressed, I kind of just want them all to dance, but I'm not going to do that. When the left arrow is pressed, I'm going to do that copy of this. I'm going to do the copy this. I want her to dance too. So far I've got play, space, we got these three dancing, and if I do the right arrow, it's going to play music. So you need to go just through and play with the keys and making them do things. And now it's going to yell at me again. I don't want to drag any more out. Drag these away now. And now when I play it, if I do the spacebar, I have 3. The mummy just looks creeped out by them, and left and right plays different sounds. And then there's the quiz.